once again, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 QFAW South Grand Final between Tweed Coast and Byron Bay. On behalf of AFL Queensland, I would like to welcome our game officials for today, led by our central umpires, Bruce Cruikshank and Noah Fraser-Payne, followed by our boundary umpires, Bruce Doherty and Lynn Hopkins, and our ball umpires, Ryan Cody and Drew Ford. I would like to acknowledge the Aboriginal people and the traditional owners of the land and water in today and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd now like to invite everyone who can to join our players and umpires in being upstanding for the playing of the Australian national anthem.
Welcome to Leyshon Park. Leyshon Park, Yeronga, for the fourth and final grand final of QFAW Grand Final Day in 2022. This is the Division 2 South Grand Final, and of course, with Queensland Aussie rules, we move the border a little bit further south, so therefore we include the traditional Queensland towns of Byron Bay, home to the Magpies, and the Tweed Coast Tigers. My name is Daniel Viles, and with me is newly minted AFL commentator Chris Yind. Yindy, thank you for stepping back to the commoners.
Oh, look, I'm absolutely pumped to be here, mate, and you've created a little bit of history yourself in season 2022 because you were involved in the very first call of 2022 of women's football, dating back to the practice match between the Brisbane Lions and the Gold Coast Suns at Leyshon Park. The first female game in Queensland called for this year, and you're also involved in the last, which is also at Leyshon Park. So you've bookended the season with women's football.
I'll give you a hot tip. I live underneath the stand that's next to us. This match, look, to be honest, I mean, we always want to see a good contest and we live for the fairy tale, but I think today we may well see an exhibition and a real skill festival from the all-conquering Byron Bay Magpies.
Absolutely. They've had a flawless season in season 2022. They average 11 goals per game. They've conceded an average of just 4 points per game, so they are a 63-point team better on average, whereas in comparison, the opposition, Tweed Heads, they average 35 points a game, have conceded an average of 16 points per game. The two have met a few times across this year. Round 1 of the finals, where Byron Bay were victorious 42-3. Back in round 14, 48-1, and back in round 2, 41-1. So I think for the Tweed Coast today, it's grand final day. They'd love to just get their opening goal in the first hit out of 4 against their opponents.
Extra special grand final. These two teams were due to meet in the 2021 decider, and it never happened. It's on in 2022. They shared a premiership. They won't be sharing this one. The ruck battle results in a first clearance for Byron Bay. Hacked off the ground, inside 50, just goes through the hands of Stella Allen. Again kicked off the ground. The pace in defence. Well done by the Tweed Tigers. They're able to run it out from the back. But a mark is taken by Byron Bay inside 50.
So Byron Bay with their first foray inside forward 50. Well, bottling it up, it must be said, inside that attacking zone. Ball hits the deck. Taken here by Valise. Melanie Valise kicking the ball up towards half-back. Getting there first is Jess Brown and her teammate there. Dishes out a handball and Marlee Dreyer as the Tigers look to clear across half-back up towards the commentary side. Good old-fashioned foot race here between the Tigers and the Pies as the ball hits the deck. Picked up here nicely with a kick around the body from Talara Berry. Up towards half-forward. Can't quite find her teammate there, but she recovers well. In fact, no, she doesn't. Free kick for a throw, and it'll go to Tweed Coast.
Tweed Coast have come to play early. As we say, not fancied. Apologies for not getting time to preview them properly, but no disrespect, they've made a grand final. This is a big deal for them and their coach, Katie Patterson. Playing up the line, unfortunately kicked it away straight into the arms of Stephanie Cooper. Cooper on the right wing, just ran off the mark. Some good pressure by Brooke Hawley. Landed in the breadbasket, then went through to Bustle. Players hit the deck. There was some holding off the ball. Byron Bay with the chance to go further inside 50.
So Byron Bay now through Kira Russell. Kick up towards centre half forward. Slews off the side of the boot and lands in the arms there of Melanie Valesi at centre half back. She goes on her right foot. A little bit of a wobbly kick off the side. Floats up towards half-back, almost scooped up there as the Tigers are under pressure and the Pies are digging deep. Good work there by the Tigers. Jess Brown laying a big tackle there. As much as the Tigers are under siege, they keep still trying to win the hard ball as Steph kicks the ball inside the forward 9 now, in towards the right forward pocket. There are +1 out of this contest, Tweed, and that will be enough to perhaps see this ball up. Or a boundary throw-in. It is the boundary throw-in in the forward pocket.
Just a couple of stray feet there. There was nearly an accidental kick out in the full. So Byron with the territory early, but Tweed Coast putting a lot of pressure on early as Cassandra Hines, the captain, leading goal scorer, just wasn't able to get the fist around the ball. Fist around the ball. That's not how fists work, Dan. You'll learn some anatomy. But they have a repeat stoppage in the right forward pocket.
If you're captain, fantastic, you'll be able to make it happen.
Yeah, not really a skill I've got. Hines again, but falls to an opponent. The work on the right goes to Allen. Allen around the body. Tweed Coast able to clear again, looking to get it to Pritchard. Pritchard not there, fell into the arms of Zena Campbell. And some good work early from Cookson on the near side. Plays inside. And we'll go to Robbins.
So Robbins inside the forward 50 now. It was 2-2. They were minus, well, they're actually +1 out of that contest. Great tackle there by Brown. Umpire calls play on. Had no prior opportunity. The Tigers exerting a lot of energy here in defence as the ball goes tumble over end and lands in the arms there of her teammate. Good inside forward 50 there from Kira Russell and finds Cassandra Hines, who has kicked 37 goals in season 2022.
Yeah, she's been a bit prolific. What a pass from Bustle inside to her. It was fantastic.
So an opportunity here to kick the opening goal of the 2022 grand final. Right foot kick on its way. Right foot kick is through and is just touched. So they got the opening score of the game, albeit a minor score. And it's 4 minutes into this one, Byron Bay by a point.
You just heard the Tweed Coast bench beneath us, who every pressure act is being appreciated. They've got nothing to lose here. 9-3 record. They did lose to Ballina as well as twice to their opponents today. That's a good clearance outside 50. The breeze right to left has affected the previous 3 grand finals. It has died down a little now, but it's been gusty. 26 knots according to Chris early in the day, and I always like it when you get nautical references at the footy.
I just asked Google. She responded very well.
She does that. Very kind person. As Byron Bay pick up on a loose ball outside 50 again, the pressure on the kicks is immense. Tweed Coast haven't come here to play around. Will be taken around the body by Cooper, who's made a couple of good touches early. Not the best directed kick, but there's plenty of pace out there from Nikki Clough. Punched forward, won't get to the 50. And maybe just not the most convincing defensive effort from Brown as Byron Bay continue the attack.
So Byron Bay inside the forward 50 for the 4th time today. Kick goes out towards right half forward. Was looking for Hines there in the forward pocket. Ball bounces away from her. Tweed under siege at the moment now, trying to pick up the ball on the outer side. There was Renee Hunter. And a free kick out of bounds on the full, and it will go to Byron Bay. And just particularly with the wind, it's actually blowing directly at the scoreboard too. So when you are kicking to the left-hand side, as a shot on goal goes through for a minor score. I'm not sure where that was from. But you do have to aim for the left-hand goal post and it'll curl through to the right. So it will be now with Tweed. Sorry, Tweed will have the ball. It is 2 behinds. So Tweed yet to score. The ball's been locked up inside the forward half for the opening 6 minutes of this quarter. Marking well is the Tigers. Right foot kick. The target here is Dreyer. Ball comes off hand, slides out nicely to Berry. Berry with a dribbling kick along the boundary line. We'll see a throw in. So Tweed are exerting a lot of energy inside their forward half, but Dan, the Byron Bay have seemed to have built this nice little wall trying to lock that ball in.
And given some of the score lines this year, I suspect that's what I've been doing for the last few months. They didn't concede a goal until July. They've kept their opponents goalless 10 times this year and scoreless 6 times. And they've dominated that Division 2 South competition. But some excellent pressure. Number 5 for Tweed Coast isn't a number we have. We'll try to find that for you. But it's fallen through. Some excellent pace. That's hooked around. That's Hines. It needs a good bounce. It got a great bounce. Cassandra Hines is on the board. First goal of the 2022 Div 2 South Grand Final.
And arguably that is one of, out of all the 4 games today, that's one of the goals of the day out of the dozens of goals that we've seen. Extraordinary kick. We know she's got that really good, strong right foot, and it just required a little bit of Nathan Lyon off spin there in the goal square. But that's the way the ball bounces, and it's a great start by the best full forward in the game. She hasn't had a really good record actually against Tweed. She's kicked 3 goals from 3 outings, so she's been well held every time she's played against the Tigers.
Well, she was pushed out wide there as well, but was still able to get it through the sticks. Kate McCarthy scored a goal like that in the 2017 Quaffle decider here, where it did a right-angled turn in the goal square. That was almost mirrorly like that one.
Doesn't matter how they look though, as long as it goes through. With some tough work done there by Melanie Valles there in the ruck for the Tigers, who are kicking to the left of your screen. Melanie goes in there hard again for Tweed, who have been under siege but have been crucial to laying a lot of big tackles, as Jess Brown allows a bit of a shepherd, frees up her teammate now as the ball goes up towards high half forward. Byron Bay with some numbers. The ball bounces away from them. Beautiful tackle laid. There's been a lot of them. Umpire says play on there. No prior opportunity. That was a throw. Oh, no, dump. So free kick will go to the Tigers.
The Tigers working hard. If they could get the next one, they could really set this grand final alight. It's Kerry Waller. She plays right. Moving inside 50, they kick to a pack of about 6 Magpies, which means you're bound to get bombed. Comes outside, but now looking to tie it in towards the 50. That slip, not her fault. Very good indication of what ground conditions are like. The mark was dropped inside. Still able to play on. It's going to be outside, and we'll try to find out who number 5 for our Tweed Coast is, because it's not in our sheet. Okay, so number 30, Summer Joyce, is actually number 5. It's fallen out to Pritchard. Pritchard's been fairly prolific herself this season. Byron Bay looking to clear. Pritchard around the outside. She's got a good piece of that, but it has gone right to left, as most kicks at that end have today. You get the wind behind you, but it also goes across you. Pritchard opens the scoring for the Tweed Coast.
9.5 minutes gone here, first term grand final football. It is 1-2-8-2, 1 behind. Early stages here, midway through the first term. As Byron Bay look to clear the ball up towards half back, comes off hands. Here's an opportunity now for Byron Bay, clearing it up nicely. There's no one behind this contest either, so this is a big passage of play here, particularly for Tweed. If they can get some numbers back and force some pressure and some hesitancy, they've done that well. Kick along the boundary line again. There's probably only half a dozen players to the right of screen, so even a big kick will not do as much damage. In fact, this stoppage is going to suit Byron Bay, so it'll give them a chance to reset.
Some big bumps from 28 Renee Hunter and 27 Emma Sweetnam for the Tweed Coast. They're bringing the physicality. They'll need to do it for 4 quarters, but I have a feeling they've come prepared to do just that. Good kick under pressure. That's a wonderful mark from Alani Sullivan. She's looking for support up forward. Plenty of athleticism in this side. Finds the mark in Hawkey. Hawkey runs from the pocket. Escapes the tackle. Has time for the bounce. Just needs the shot to be straight. You almost feel cheated as a fan that didn't go through, because that's the kind of goal that you slow down and put classical music behind.
That would have been a great grand final goal too. That's that would have lifted this team, and to be able to get that first goal against in the grand final, but particularly against Byron Bay for the year. But they've shown some promise today, Tweed, already. My concern for them is how much energy have they burnt in defence. It's tough for them as Byron Bay kicking the ball up towards the commentary side. Melanie Dreyer can't quite take the mark. The Pies now up towards the commentary wing. They're +1 around this contest, Tweed, so they're looking to try and apply a little bit more pressure. Defensive side of the ground, and it's suiting Byron Bay. A big right foot kick. There is no one behind this contest on screen as it suits Tweed, and they're away.
Grace Ella, one of 3 sisters in this side, just went over the top of Sullivan, who took a great mark before. She's clearly got a bit of ducage, as we like to say here. Whitburn in the contest just wasn't able to get there. They didn't have the numbers at this context. They had numbers behind the ball, however. They're back inside 50. Calls for another 50 metres from the bench. I could see their point, but probably correctly not paid. Byron Bay cleaning up from defence. That's a wonderful tackle break. And this time they do clear properly out to number 2.
So Steph Cooper now, that is a 50-metre penalty because the player on the mark clearly pushed forward before Steph was able to get around on her favoured left foot. So that counts as probably a kick and a half or 2 kicks further down the ground, particularly into this breeze. So with Steph, if she can drop the ball, there's no one from 0 to 35 just yet. So with the ball going away a little bit, there's no one, still 0 to 20. So if she can land the ball long, in fact she lowers the eyes, and there was plenty of real estate there, Daniel, and it's the mark was thoroughly rewarded there from Stella Marie Ellen.
She was on the move early.
She plays on quickly, right foot kick up towards the edge of the goal square, and Tweed mark.
There are some good hands around this Tweed Coast side. They'll need to work them, but they've diffused a goal scoring opportunity there after a 50. Cooper's been busy, and I've also enjoyed the work of Cookson out on this near side in the number 19 jersey. Just kicked off the ground, probably need to put the head over the ball. It's worked to their advantage though, as Pritchard, who's been busy up forward but has come back down the ground. Byron Bay nearly went the flyer, was Grace Robertson. Didn't quite come down with it. Then missed the kick, gives away the free kick. Excellent tackle pressure. This time from... I've missed the player.
Kara Wold.
Thank you, cheers.
In the number 33 Guernsey now, she plays on across half-back. Slews off the side of the boot. Ill-directed kick, but it still suit the Tigers here. Bustling through is Grace Bella there. Good work laying the tackle there after being diffused of the ball. Going back and laying that second effort there as the ball pushes up a little bit further. Now big contest, that one. On her back, getting a handball up was Robbins as the Tweed side across half-back. Ella Grace just shovels the ball out under tremendous amount of pressure. Umpire calls play on out of this instance. Tweed a little bit hesitant there. As the pack starts to form, Wallace squeezes the handball out now, and Tweed are away.
Melanie Vaese thumping it out. She's done some good things today, Vaese. Getting back towards it was Zena Campbell. It's a good wrestling battle on the ground. Just goes past Cooper, who's been probably the busiest player on the ground so far in the first quarter. If they can start to link up those passes, Tweed Coast, they're going to be threatening their forward 50 as much as Byron Bay's been threatening theirs. But they've managed to wrap it up just forward of the centre circle, Tweed Coast perspective.
And a big shout out to all those watching at home on the Clutch TV. Thanks to our friends at Double Take, and our man Matty here on the camera who's carving it up. He's had a big day today. This is the fourth game, and he says he's most excited about this one because there's a lot of potential here as the ball gets kicked out towards the outer side, out towards Amy Ella now. Right foot kick around the body, out towards the outer side. As Tweed do have some extra numbers around this contest. Players going to ground there for Byron Bay. Umpire allowing it to go through as the Tigers press inside the forward 50. That's fantastic. Now they've got a player pushing forward, screaming for it. And it'll go up towards the top of the square. The kick was ill-directed, out of bounds on the full. Chance goes missing there, Daniel.
Hands went to the head as soon as it left the boot, just trying to identify the player. Apologies to you people watching this who know all of these players on site. That was Brooke Hawkey although I'm told she's also used the surname Sheard. Forgive me for not knowing which one she uses now. We've been given the name Hawkey, so we'll stick with that.
Well, they've been chanting Hawkey here on the bench. So.
That's good enough for me. That's a wonderful overhead mark. Just taken behind her. Apologies again for misidentifying. But the last great play of the first quarter is made by Tweed Coast. And despite everything we said about this game possibly being one-sided and a bit of a Byron Bay exhibition before the game, it's only a 5-point margin, Chris.
It definitely is, but well done here to Tweed Coast. They've really dug deep. They've played very well defensively. They just have to get the execution right as they move from across the middle of the ground and hit some more targets. So they've been rushed a little bit, but they will respond.
So at quarter time, the Byron Bay Magpies threw 1 goal to Cassandra Hines, and the bookies are not bothering to pay out for that one. Lead, Tweed Coast, 2 behinds. We'll see you in 5 minutes for the second quarter. Do you know which one's the number? I moved up. That's awesome, thank you. Quarter time in the grand final of 2022 for the QFAW Division 2 South. It's time for me to make a whole bunch of corrections. My name's Daniel Viles, and I say that as a confession. First of all, it's 1-2 to Byron Bay. They lead by 1 straight shot over Tweed Coast with 2 behinds. And secondly, thank you to the Tweed Coast support staff to say what everyone watching here from Tweed Coast already knew, which is that it's not 3 Ella sisters, it's a mother and 2 daughters. Amy in number 7 is the mother, and her daughters Trinity in 6 and Grace in 8 are on the field today. and they've all made an impression so far. My name's Daniel Viles, as I say. I plead guilty. With me is Chris Yindi. Second quarter, Chris, and this game's a lot tighter than we predicted.
Absolutely, and it's exciting to see. I really like the pressure that Tweed have applied. My concern is have they run out of gas already? How much energy do they exert trying to be defensive in that first term? We'll certainly check it out now as it is Tweed to the right hand of your screen. It is Byron Bay to your left. Remember, Byron Bay have averaged 67 points per game and conceded an average of 4 points. So we're nearly at that halfway mark already now as they get on with the free kick already through Steph Cooper. Up towards half forward here as Byron Bay try and push the ball forward again and doing an electrifying pace as a kick around the body will come there from Allen. No, good pressure there from the Tigers. Ball about 35 metres out from goal. Opportunity again here on hands and knees here for Byron Bay. They turn the ball over and Tweed are away.
Not quite away. Cooper at centre half forward, who has been feeding Allen on the right. That's a superb tackle. That's easily gone 360 as Trinity Yellow goes something like whee around the tackle player.
I feel like you're at Disney World on that.
I had fun, yeah. Hines gets the tap inside 50, and then a second tap comes through from Buckle. Heads through. That's good defensive work from Sweetnam. Just hits the deck. We have had overnight rain in Brisbane. It's still muddy, and of course it's cold now. Chasing that through was Harrison. Tweed Coast able to do enough at the back. The shot comes in from the far side. It's out on the full. Won't affect anyone's stats.
I did like the reference that, the punters wouldn't have paid out on Cassandra Hines kicking the opening goal of the game because, realistically, that was a foregone conclusion.
It was odds on, mate.
Absolutely. She's had a season best of 8 against Pines. Pack Pines. Yeah. That was an outstanding performance. She also kicked a bag or 2 or 5 too, so she knows how to get firing. She just hasn't kicked a bag against this opposition who've been the second best for most of the year, and hoping that they could be the best at the end of this game in some 40-odd minutes' time as the ball's around 40 metres out from the Pies' goal. And it's cleared out there by the Tigers. An up and under kick. Plenty of players crash down. There's only 2 players behind this contest now. And the Pies are away.
The Pies were very well set up behind that contest, but then the pressure from Tweed Coast was immense. Some good body work from Zoe White. But again, it falls out the back, falling to Allen, who's been very industrious at right half forward. The kick comes, well, it would have come in had it not been blown over the boundary line. The breeze that's here is still right to left, but as you say, similar to QAFL Grand Final Day, where it's coming over our right shoulder as you look.
Basically, the wind is blowing directly to the scoreboard, so that's where the gusts are generally pushing to.
That's how we power the scoreboard. We blow wind at it. Bursting out of the contest, but eventually Tweed Coast able to clear. That's some excellent work from Cooper. Cooper's probably best on ground so far. You don't decide best on ground 2 minutes and 44 seconds into the second quarter. But it's been a pleasure to watch so far. Very busy at right half forward.
I think we had a fair idea of who may have been best on ground at this point of the game in the northern version of this division.
It's a fair point.
So, but you appreciate the consistency in players getting better. As Tweed have tried so hard already in the first 20 minutes of play, and they're just trying to shovel it away. In fact, the umpire is penalised there for holding the ball, and Byron Bay will have a shot at goal from close range.
Plenty of numbers around the contest for Byron Bay, created the error. And this shot, they haven't really got going, Byron Bay, today, but you suspect lowers the eyes, short kick, and running into space is Stella Allen, who's made a wonderful start to this game.
She's presented well, hasn't she? She's got a big kick on her too.
Allen needs to swing it right to left. She's done it. She may have even swung it left to right. Sorry for spoiling the call, but you can't spoil the goal. Stella Allen has Byron second.
Would you say that was a stellar effort? I'm making him think here.
4 minutes into the second quarter, and Byron Bay have the first goal. They lead by 2 goals. Chris, we're going to edit that part out later.
Can we edit live streaming here? I'm going to go back and rewind that.
No, there's been things I've been avoiding all game. Like when I thought we had 3 Ella sisters, I was trying to avoid an Ella Brothers reference to the Wallabies of the 1980s. And I succeeded with that.
That's showing your age, though, isn't it?
Look, it is. And then you went straight in with the stellar effort. Just some commentary, Chris. Honestly.
Absolutely. It hasn't been a long season, let's be honest here, as the Tigers push up towards half forward. Almost there for Hawkey. Ball hits the ground, 40 40 metres out from goal. Hawkey, that's not a bad kick out there to space to try and draw her teammate there in Alani Sullivan into it. But she's gang tackled there by a couple of pies, and she's GAWN gone. Free kick, it'll be to Byron Bay in the back half.
Sullivan got an awful bounce. I thought she'd recovered well. And then I've forgotten the collective noun for Magpies, but she ran into one. Swarm, perhaps, a brood. Either way.
Not at this time of the year anyway, mate. They're brutal.
Playing out of defence. Buckle on the ground. Again, kick through. That may have been Hines. Apologies for misidentifying. Allen still circling, prepared to go round the ground. Oh, lovely step inside. That might have been Cooper again. Goes towards 50. Here's Hines. Hines has plenty of space. Will need to take a bounce. Does so successfully. Just needs to get the angle right. My goodness, she has. You cannot keep her goal tally still. Cassandra Hines has 2 for the afternoon.
Oh, that's electric. She really put on the afterburners there, and it's very tough for a right footer to be able to kick a goal straight into that with the wind cutting across. It would have been cutting across her left shoulder, so to be able to kick it low and hard and pierce through the breeze that was going through, the degree of difficulty of that was quite high.
Byron, in all likelihood, have a very good left-sided attack, but what they've used so far today is their right-sided attack, and all the usual suspects, Cooper, Allen, they were all involved in that lead-up play.
Absolutely, and that shows a really good team bonding. They know how each other operate, know where they're moving into positions. It shows just how united this team is. The Tigers looking to try and respond here. They've been very competitive. But Byron Bay have put their foot down at the moment now as an up and under kick. Up towards the commentary wing. Bounces high up towards a high half forward here for the Pies. A couple of them fight over it, which is, you don't usually see that from a couple of Pies.
I think you do.
We'll see a ball up. I was thinking more Seagulls, but fighting over who's going to sweep who? I don't know.
So Tweed Coast not able to make it into forward 50 on this occasion, but they are getting clearances out of the middle, which is encouraging. Cooper again. She's done that a few times. Evading the first tackle, she's done repeatedly well. Evading 2, 3 and 4 simultaneously, not quite so much. I'm not sure many people could. Comes out to the near side, very well held calmly by Amelia Ryan. That's not Amelia Ryan, that is Simone Sharp. Simone Sharp on this right-hand side. Bit indecisive, maybe needed to move a little bit faster. And in the end, will nearly kick the ball away, but there was some good pressure.
As the ball pushes up towards half forward now. Pies working hard, squeezing left foot kick out now. Here come the Tigers again, under a bit of pressure. Conceding a little bit of ground here as Grace Alla sidesteps her opponent beautifully up towards high half forward. Plenty of Magpies around this one. They should raffle it. No, they don't. Ball hits the deck, throwing her body over the ball there was Trinity Alla. Ball trying to be pressed and locked up there across centre half forward. That was a throw, but the umpire was blindsided. And we'll see a ball up forward of centre here for the Tigers.
In terms of territory, I'm not sure it wouldn't be much off 50-50 at the moment. Tweed Coast have pressed very well as the wonderful volleyball spike made it way into the path of Kira Bustle. She'll have a second effort at it. Good tackle from Sweetnam. Tweed Coast able to pump it forward again in the direction of Sullivan. Sullivan's impressed every time she's got near the ball today. Brilliant smother. And then able to pick it up as well. Byron Bay showing they've got athletes all around the ground. Took a step, that tackle has been paid. Tremendous work from Tweed Coast at both ends of the ground. Hines thought she was away for a third time, not today.
And I can see what the coaching staff here, Troy Hull's trying to do with Hines, is just to keep her isolated from 0 to 60 as well. And Tweed have really played into those hands, so she's unfortunate there due to the great defence that she wasn't able to execute a better effort there as the Tigers push the ball up towards high half forward, looking for Amelia Ryan now. Bounces favourably for her. Saw Hawkey out of the corner of her eye. Hawkey was actually going to apply the shepherd and wasn't there in the right spot. Pumped off the ball, holding the ball. Free kick to the Tigers.
Well, if you want to disperse Magpies, it helps to have a Hawkey. There's Melanie Viesi. About 75 from goal. Calls for presenting as an option. And in the end, well, the defence got to it first, weren't able to hold on. As the scrum occurs inside 50, we saw Hutchings at the bottom of the pack. The boundary line still isn't close enough. Squeezes out the bottom. Good hands over the ball from Whitburn. And eventually comes back inside. Needs a good mark. It got one from the ever-present Cooper.
So Cooper now sprints off half back. He'll direct a kick there towards Hinchcliffe there of Tweed under a bit of pressure, as there's only 2 players behind this contest as well. So if Byron Bay can get a clearing kick out, they've got, well, they'll be off to the races, so to speak, with their number 1 player. A free kick for a push. So now Tweed, and probably need to switch it out, because if they continue to go, well, it doesn't matter, it's going to be 50 anyway. That was lucky for them, because they would have gone back to once it came, Daniel, and they would have kicked it straight back to a swarm of pies.
2 negative plays there. Firstly, the push rather than going for the ball was a bit negative, and then secondly, just to be a bit sloppy on the mark. So if Byron Bay concede here, unfortunately, you'd have to say they deserve it. It's gone to the left of the goal square. Not able to be brought down, but it was only ever Magpie hands around it. Haven't quite cleared the 50. There's some good work on the ground from Vayese, who's an excellent tall for the Tweed Coast. Came inside.
Amy, one out the back, Amy!
And it has been cleared out again. Apologies for the loss of commentary, as the bouncing ball just does not suit number 26 for Byron Bay at all. We'll get a name on that, but there will be a free kick to Byron Bay. They can continue their forward advance.
Yeah, it's probably worthwhile for them too, I think, just to be able to concede that free kick, because there was only 2 players forward of defence. It was one-on-one contest away from that, so probably good effort there by Tweed, and a good effort from the mark there by the Pies on the outer side. A long kick would see some big targets down there, although Tweed Coast are actually +1 at ground level here, so they do kick to that contest. The Pies can't quite work out what they need to do in that instance there, as it's hacked out of there up towards half-back, and a mark out of on the outer side to Jocelyn Fraser.
So Fraser continues down that left-hand side. That's a good mark under pressure, as Tweed Coast is able to continue down the left-hand side. That just held up in the wind. The wind seems to have picked up again. We saw that with the ball sailing over Cooper's head moments ago. 3 Magpies ran over the top of it. In the end, Hutchings, who's been getting very busy in the last few minutes, takes a tumble on that occasion. Tweed Coast able to lock it up. Yeah, there was a ball where Cooper was perfectly positioned, then suddenly she wasn't.
Yeah, that wind, we spoke about the gusts across the day. It just picks up very briefly, goes very hard, and makes it very tough just at the last minute. So in an ideal sense, just kick the ball along low and hard, as the Tigers now try and push forward. There's about 6 players in their forward half of the ground. So we see a Tiger coming off the ground. Daniel's got his eye on to identify the player on that one there, as the Tigers with some extra numbers around this contest, so the Pies are able to manufacture. That was a very challenging tackle on the outer side. Mark not taken there by Zena Campbell. Handball it into incoming traffic there for the Tigers. And we should almost see a stoppage there at high half forward. Attacking zone for Tweed.
Some strong work by Talara Berry on the ground. Unfortunately, Trinity Ella has come off the field looking a little worse for wear. Hopefully she can be patched up and brought back onto the field, because she's made some very good moves in this first half, as Cooper was able to squeeze the disposal out. And they're on the march again. Byron, it falls to Hines. She's in a bit of space, suddenly wasn't, got the slick hand pass away, goes towards the goal square. In fact, it goes not anywhere near the goal square, it's out. Looking for the run of Allen, didn't find it. Will be a boundary throw in though.
I'm not sure of the matchup there with Katie Patterson, the coach here of Tweed, just leaving Hines one out with a defender, particularly with plenty of real estate. She's often been one-on-one. From 0 to 50 with no one around that contest, and Troy Hull has no issue sitting Hines one out from 0 to 60 on her own, and having the rest of their forwards push further up the ground to create that space, a la the Pagans' paddock, because it's proving well for them at this stage. And a free kick for a push, and now Byron Bay will have a shot on goal.
That's one of the very few times when the defensive pressure of Tweed Coast has conceded a free kick. They've been very disciplined. And even that you couldn't call undisciplined. It just didn't quite work the way it was intended. But yeah, there's been no loss of effort. The chips lower the eyes. Beautiful run. I think that might be Holly Harrison who's come forward.
And it's like the fact she took a little bit off the kick as well, which is fantastic, just drop it into space.
Now Hull's got them well drilled. They know when to look for a teammate. That sounded sweet off the boot of Harrison. 6 points for her. They're not running away with it, Byron Bay, but they are in control late in the second quarter.
Yeah, they most definitely are. As we hit the 14.5-minute mark, we're out to a 24-point lead.
And they haven't conceded this quarter.
They haven't, and I mean, let's be honest, they didn't concede for the first 10 weeks of the season, nor have they conceded a goal at all. But I do like that the best at Tweed Coast is actually really good, because their effort against, was it Ballina last week?
Ballina,
Ballina, yeah. They
Sorry, educating the Victorian there.
Yeah, I know. I only know these when you drive on the highway.
Chris, keep going, yes.
Show myself out. They were able to hold Ballina to just 4 points last week, so it's a good effort by them.
You can get me back when I start talking about Wangaratta. But moving... Tweed Coast, they're needing to retreat to advance. Byron Bay knocking it forward. No great connection at this stage. I could see the intent of the player on the ground. That's a fierce tackle from Georgie Robbins, who went for a bit of a ride on the back and then used gravity to complete the tackle. An emphatic second quarter from Byron Bay gives them a 24-point lead. Their 4 goals, 2 to Cassandra Hines, their skipper, 1 each to Stella Allen and Holly Harrison. Tweed Coast just have the behinds to Ellie Pritchard and Brooke Hawkey. It's a 24-point lead to Byron Bay in the QFAW Division 2 South Grand Final of 2022. We'll see you again in 10 minutes here on Clutch TV.
My favourite things about being an umpire would be making friends, getting fit and getting involved in the game. You're a big part of the game as an umpire, so it's a great way to get involved in the game.
What I love most about being an umpire is being involved in the game, even at my age and my level of fitness, and actually being able to be out there with a great group of people. It's fantastic.
What I love most about being an umpire is being involved with footy, making new friends and getting paid to be involved in the game I love.
Definitely get involved. It is a great way to stay fit. It's a great inclusive community. It's a very supportive community, and it's a job that anyone can do. It doesn't matter about your gender, doesn't matter about your age, your fitness abilities. It's just a great way to be involved in the AFL.
I would encourage anyone to get involved in umpiring. It's fantastic, it's fun, and you get paid to be involved in the sport that you love.
I did see Sarah. Yeah. into the play, for those back home, you'll be aware of just how effective she has been in season 2022 as the Pies try and work their way out across half-back. A big booming kick there from Berry. Comes off the hands there of Whitburn of the Tweed Coast. And we should see a stoppage now.
There's only one match up to the right of your camera. We need one of Jeff Newman's blankets to throw over the congestion in the middle. There's a lot of blankets, that man.
Well, he's a dad now.
So Vaisi, spectacular work on the ground. I think her shoulders were pulled away as she tried to kick the ball. No, in fact, the free kick's gone the other way. Just a bit of confusion in the middle. The hand signals have eventually awarded the free kick to Byron. So they'll kick out from their own 50. And they come to this near side where the wing's just a little bit less. Cooper had the hands around it. Still able to knock it forward. The call of pick it up goes out, which is basically one step ahead of get your head over the ball. Ball up about 80 from goal.
There's already see Cooper and Hines already presenting themselves early here, getting in the right positions already for Byron Bay. But full credit to the Tweed midfield. They've been able to bottle it up and reduce that freedom of flow from their opposition. As Rucks contest again, just forward of centre for Byron Bay. Lovely work, lovely breakneck speed there from Grace Alla. Up inside the forward 50 now. They've got an opportunity here through Hawkey. Hawkey now, she's got to get boots of ball. It's going to bounce, they'll need a soccer off the ground. That they do, and they miss one.
Joyce.
Chance goes begging there for the Tigers.
Summer Joyce was in position. Needed a call from a teammate, really, just to see whether she had time to bend down and pick it up. But they advance their score. And they're in for one of Rebecca Randazzo's 7-point plays. Byron allowed to get it out. Allen, who's dropped back, which is not a bad play when playing into the wind. She's come back to halfback, taken a good mark. Playing out, good overhead mark, just dropped by Clough, but there were hands around the general area of the noggin. And she'll have a free kick one way or the other on this right wing. Plays one up. Kick didn't quite come sweetly off the boot. Good work from Brown on the ground. I suspect we're going to get tired of saying that in the best possible way. Kicked forward, not able to be held onto by Harrison, but there was pushing and she'll win the free. Yeah, just a marking infringement there. It'll go to Holly Harrison. Already got one on the board in this grand final. 23 points the margin. We had a game high 24 points, which was at half time, as Harrison now up towards 40 metres out from goal. It was Hines who tried to manoeuvre an opponent away from the ball. Kick up towards the top of the square. That could be a good pass, and that could be a good goal. It's both from column A and column B, but column C came into fruition because it was touched. And Shayna Pittman, that's a point for her. So somebody put in column C. That's a rather impressive spreadsheet you got going there, Christian. As Tweed Coast were able to keep it to 1. Heading up towards that southeastern corner. Cookson chasing after it. Good Industry able to keep it in. Lovely double step. There's been a call. Did it go over the boundary? It's a free kick. It'll go to Zara Cookson. It will go to Cookson. Ball hasn't always come wide to her, but when it has, she's done well. Cooper, just the sticky mitts have gone missing in the second half, but there might have been a bit of a physical reason for that. Newton's laws of motion making sure she didn't take the mark. Who says you can't put signs in footy? I think coach has been doing it a lot longer than I have. Cooper off the left foot, looking for the short kick. Didn't quite work, but it may fall to advantage. And then burrowing through, she really did walk into that tackle, but it will be a ball up about 30 from goal. Good work there by Josie Fraser for the Tigers. Again, exerting a lot of defensive energy to try and prevent the scoreboard to really open up as the kick goes up towards the top of the square. Hines applying a shepherd there. Good tackle! No, it wasn't. It was too high, and a free kick will go to Byron Bay. That'll go to Steph Buckle from close range now. So she'll be on a relatively straightforward angle, but again, the breeze has been troubling, and you can see it just doing its thing. It's still inside the field of play. Hacked out of there by Amy Ella. Out towards the outer side.
probably could have allowed that to go out of bounds as it frees up Byron Bay to keep the ball inside the field of play. Comes out now nicely there to Jess Brown, right foot kick around the body, dribbling out towards the boundary line in front of the scoreboard that says Byron Bay by 24 points.
Even though it's the professional play often to let the ball go out of bounds, it's been notable from Tweed Coast today that they haven't wanted to play it negatively. They've wanted to take the game on, and you've got to admire that kind of attitude, because for long-term improvement, that'll be critical. Cooper takes a mark, and Water makes things wet. Cooper looking towards the goal square, got a decent size on it. Hines came forward, nearly the classic full forward play. Comes out the back to Clough, misses everything.
We'll see a throw in here. I just love the fact that you've got Cooper, you've got Hines, and you've got Allen. Just the trio of height that they've got at their disposal, Byron Bay. Any football club around the country would love to have that sort of talent in their team. The embarrassment of riches that this club has got. And that's the big reason why they're here today. Is there at ground level there was Buckle, and we're going to see her holding the ball decision. Free kick, and it'll go to Tweed in the right back pocket. So the Tigers now out towards half-back, slips over the top now, goes out towards the boundary line, still inside the field of play. There's Allen again, handball over the top. As a beautiful tackle there. Oh my goodness, Jessica Brown, outstanding.
Jess Brown, I'll talk about some small midfielders in a moment, because she's looked very impressive. Gets the kick away. Hawkey, clever play. Handballs to herself. Oh, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But I think of Jasmine Smith, who's just made her debut for the Gold Coast Suns AFLW team. 5'0", if that. But her tackling in round one in the loss to North Melbourne was outstanding. I see a bit of I see a bit of Jasmine Smith in Jess Brown.
What about a bit of Tony Liberatore as well? He was 4'0" and was the best tackler in the game for a long time and won a Brownlow medal because of it.
I never saw him play. I could never been down that low. Out the back, Tweed Coast able to maintain possession. An unfortunate slip for Sweetenham. Inside into trouble, but at least they haven't lost possession. Of course, you mentioned the three tools before that Byron have. There's a certain AFLW team up here that has Jessie Wardlaw, Taylor Smith and Dakota Davidson up front. You want to have a crack at why they're successful?
It's hard. I wonder why.
Vies, they're doing well in the ruck. Not quite able to get the ball to Brown, which is probably plan A in the midfield for the Tweed Coast. Sweetenham pulled off it. And then lovely work around the back from Grace Ella. Ella getting up inside 50. That was an important hand in defence, but it's taken by Pritchard. Pritchard gets it running forward. It may get the roll on. Possibly needs a bit of intervention. It'll be run through for, well, almost a touchdown, really, but at least it's a point to get them up to 4 for the Tweed Coast.
Well, that's been the average score that Byron Bay has conceded in all their games this season. You just feel that the Tigers deserve a goal. They absolutely
I would agree with that.
Just a few have bounced to the wrong side of the stick as the Pies come across half-back, getting in front position. Couldn't quite take it on the third attempt. Still inside the field of play. The wind still keeping that in nicely here. Tigers hard up there on the boundary line. Just got boots the ball, not quite. And so holding the ball decision, it will now go to Byron Bay here at left half-back. Commentary side, she'll just kick it up towards a nest of players from representing both teams. Belted forward there by the Tigers. It hits a teammate on the chest. Summer Joyce beautifully smothered there by Zena Campbell. Boundary thrown and down. Those 1%ers that Zena's just executed is just perfect for grand finals.
I think the influence of Craig Starcevich has affected women's football across Queensland. When you get a Brisbane Lions team that wins a premiership but only has one player in the team of the year, that's almost emblematic of what women's Aussie rules in this part of the world is like. Tweed Coast battling hard, always at the contest. Their players ferocious. Case in point, the tackle from Kiri Waller.
Have they been, despite the fact that they've been behind the scoreboard, have Tweed been the better tackling team out of the two?
A better tackling team. I mean, you could argue that maybe they've needed to tackle more, but even so, the job they've done is tremendous. They've certainly justified this grand final place, even though they've just conceded a free kick in the back 50. Byron will play it out to this near side. Just came off the boot. That was unintentional. Hawkey looking for it. And eventually smothered over the ground. Over the boundary, rather. As Zoe White managed to keep her face out of the mud. It's a skill.
The glorious mud here. We've got the best seat in the house. Our man Matty here on the camera, bringing you all the action here on Clutch TV, thanks to our friends at Double Take and Bradnam's Windows and Doors, who have proudly supported the umpires all year. Umpire.afl, get into it. You can also play footy at the same time. As the ball shoveled out there, the umpire was blindsided by that disposal. Toe poked off the ground there by the Tigers. Lovely tackle again by Tweed. As Byron Bay, they're under siege. The ball is bobbled out. A nest of around 40 players, 30 players around here, and we'll see a ball up.
One of the most important players for Byron in this third quarter has been Grace Robertson in defence, the number 24. Several times she's been the marking pressure at the back that's snuffed out the Trinity attack. Tackling fierce on that occasion. It will just be a ball up. There was an unintentional sling there. Now, and we have an injury to Robbins.
Yeah, and she's got her leg caught in that one. She's in a lot of trouble. Yep, this is not good. So we might get Matt to just push the camera away a little bit from this action here, but she's got her leg caught in that tackle.
So leg twisted underneath her. So we'll let the medicos look after Georgie Robbins. In fact, the stretch has been called for. So what I like about this is the decision-making's been swift. And, they clearly know what they're looking at.
Yep.
Let's move away from that, not because we don't care about it, quite the opposite. We just don't want to pay too much attention to it. The game at the moment, we have a goalless third quarter. 12 minutes elapsed. We'll keep an eye on how much time is being lost here. I guess the next phase for Tweed Coast is they know how to keep it inside 50. They know how to put pressure on Byron Bay, getting it through the sticks. Is it that usual sort of bit of class in the final third, as they say?
I think so too. There's that pressure to really take the game on, and you can see Grace Eller coming off the ground at the moment. She knew.
Georgia Robbins.
Sorry, George. Yeah, she knew she was in. I was looking at the wrong number 8 there.
I do that all day.
Yeah, she knew straight away. She was in a lot of pain. Fortunately, it doesn't look as bad as what it could have been.
Yes, I was expecting to see something a bit more misshapen, but even though she's not putting weight on the leg and receiving assistance from the ground, I agree, fortunate.
So we ended up losing 1 minute there out of that.
Correct. So Vaisi neutralising the ruck. Brown came crashing through. She's looking for possessions. If Vaisi can get a clean tap, Brown's going to run away with this. And that may be the key to Tweed Coast being able to score. But the pressure, constantly. Cooper, she's been in the key position. She's now getting involved around the ball. Vaisi neutralising the ruck again. Falls forward to Amy Eller. Bit of experience. Goes over the back of the contest. Well swept at the back. That's beautiful hands getting it through to Parks. Good courage under pressure there from Cookson. Lost possession. Back into centre half back for Byron. The hands again. Cooper was there to receive it, and it was given to her by Kira Bussell, who's done a lot of good things unnoticed so far.
Ball on the outer side. Plenty of Tigers around this pack at the moment as the ball goes back inside the forward 50. Comes Hawkeye again. Gets front position there. Couldn't quite take the mark. Kick ill-directed and then ended up landing in the lap here of Holly Harrison. So
good
Holly
hands.
Just like not butter like if we were trying to take it. She had the glue on there and it worked to perfection. Now there's no one behind this contest, so if Byron Bay just get boots a ball, it would be an old-fashioned foot race, and it wouldn't be a bad thing to see on grand final day. The Tigers do have some numbers around this contest now. Chasing out towards the outer side is Whitburn, running herself in and out of traffic. Right foot kick around the body, and a mark taken there by Lani Sullivan.
Sullivan's marking's been outstanding today. Gets it inside 50, but it was really just a case of which Magpie would take it. And in the end, it will be cleared from left half back. That's by Dana Ferry. It's back towards the 50. Tweed Coast not letting Byron run away from this. They can't remember the last time Byron had an inside 50 this quarter. It's been a while. They may get one here, though. Some good work by Cody May. Swing around, just keeping it inside. Sweetnam's been industrious for Tweed Coast, but on this occasion, well, it's been a while since I last said we haven't had many boundary throw-ins today, so let's have another one.
Well, I think that's actually going to be in the back. So.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry.
So there we go on the outer side. The umpire in perfect position. So a free kick will be awarded to Tweed across Left half back, out of side, right foot kick along the boundary line, ricochets off the leg of a Magpie, dribbling up towards the outer wing. Right foot kick around the body from Trinity Yeller under a bit of pressure. Ball presses out towards the boundary line. It's just pinging around like a game of table tennis out there at this stage. In the shadows of three-quarter time, the quarters have gone 16 and 15 and a half, and we did have a minute lost to injury, and a free kick's been awarded.
Grace Ella gets on her bike, moved quickly. Almost some very sticky hands at the back from Fairy. And it works for Byron. It's often not an individual that we can pick out in the defensive efforts for Byron because there's 3 or 4 of them that each put the pressure on and then one of them benefits. On this occasion, Tweed Coast able to push it forward. But they have run out of time running with the wind in the third quarter. The plus for them, however, is that they kept the runaway league leaders Byron Bay to a goalless quarter as well. So 4-3-27 for Byron Bay leads Tweed Coast 0-4-4. We'll be back in 5 minutes with the fourth and final quarter. We will either see a Byron Bay procession to the premiership or we're going to see something akin to a Disney movie.
To give a BOG now, it would be 7. For, just at the moment, if, yeah. Thank you.
Welcome back to Leyshon Park, Yeronga. It's the 16th quarter of QFAW Grand Final Day, Division 2 South. Remember, no Premier was crowned last year. Technically, it was shared between these two teams. So the reigning Premier for 2 years has been Ballina. They're about to lose their crown today. Byron Bay, 23 points to the good and running with the wind in the fourth quarter. My name's Daniel Viles. With me is Chris Yinda-Yin. Thank you for joining us wherever you are throughout Queensland, northern New South Wales, Kazakhstan, Angola. I don't mind. It's an international
The more the merrier.
Indeed. Fourth quarter action. The Byron Bay Magpies and the black and white running to the left of your screen. Their 4 goals all came in the first half. We had a goalless third quarter. which was a good result for Tweed Coast, but they probably needed to make inroads while they had the wind. Having said that, while there's life, there's hope. Whitburn, brought to ground, did well, and will win the free kick for the sling tackle.
So here come the Tigers. That kick was out towards Brown. It wouldn't have gone 15 anyway. She's taken high again.
Okay, if she meant all that, that was genius.
Absolutely. That was the grandmaster plan, because it just opened it up a little bit at half forward. That was the plan. Pure genius, in fact. Out to Trinity Ella. Ella inside the forward 50 now. Defence really needs to stand up here for the Pies, and they're able to just get the ball out, even albeit momentarily. Right foot kick up and under now. Hacked out of there by Berry. Out towards the middle of the ground. Ricochets off the foot there of Sasha Hincliffe, who goes in there again. Has some support there from a teammate. Ball at high half forward here for Tweed Coast, but Byron Bay get it away.
We'll talk about the halfback defence for Byron Bay in a moment, because that double-pronged defence of Robertson and Berry have snuffed out so many Tweed Coast attacks. Another one building here through Trinity Ella. Her second significant touch for this quarter. Got it left, had a choice of two players, ended up finding the one at the back.
Sarah Whitburn, I think.
Thank you. Whitburn lays inside to Grace Ella, who went without it. May still have space, looking for a bit of contact. Finds it inside. Kicks it toward... Oh, Berry got that with the head, I believe. Coming round again. In fact, that's Robertson. Robertson just fumbling it along, was able to evade the tackle of Waller. And it will be a ball up. And you do wonder what would have happened if Ella had had her mitts around the pill at left half forward.
Just 6-pointer heading their way. Steph Cooper being swung to centre half back to try and stem any influence here from the Tigers as the ball paddled out towards the boundary line. Now Allen, she sees it out of bounds. We'll see a boundary throw in. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Cooper does play a more of a loose player in defence. I think as she is the, dare I say, probably more the Patrick Cripps sort of player of this Byron Bay outfit. Very tall, very athletic, and has a strong engine. As ball stripped off the feet there of Buckle, and tirelessly there is Emma Sweetenham. She's involved in that stoppage, and we'll see a ball up.
I think Sweetenham might want to win. Don't tell me what gave it away. Baese got the ball down, found Ella in Grace form, falls back to Joyce. Joyce plays left, was looking for the run of Dreyer. Dreyer, good turn of speed, looking to improve the angle. The bounce didn't work. It's soft out there. Don't ask me how I know. Well, we played just out. The opportunity hasn't finished. Back in towards, the mark just dropped. Dreyer again. And it is Robertson, part of that defensive fulcrum for Byron Bay, who sees it out to safety in front of the chain sheds.
3 minutes gone here in this final term, and the game's slipping away for Tweed Coast, but I think we would all love to see Tweed just get a goal on the board, particularly against, the undefeated minor premiers, Byron Bay, who have dominated every single opposition they have faced, and Tweed have taken the game up to them. Umpire was blindsided. No, he was, in fact, the outer zone umpire saw that free kick.
Sweetenham again.
So Sweetenham, you can tell she's still hungry. She's ferocious. I just want to see her bomb the ball long. In fact, she finds a teammate running through. Jess Brown got close to the player, but it lowered the eyes beautifully. And that was the grand plan all along. They'll have a shot on goal, and that will go to Summer Joyce. So that's fantastic. Summer Joyce, right foot kick on its way. It'll fall short. It'll land at the top of the goal square now. Pies under siege. Umpire calls play on now. Hawkey tried to get boot to ball, not forthcoming. Plenty of Pies around this contest now. Good work, Hawkey. Just able to force a little bit of pressure. The kick squeezed out here towards half forward. An opportunity now for all the Tigers. Right foot kick. The wind has taken that, and that goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Byron Bay at left back pocket.
Again, Jess Brown getting her hands on the ball, getting it through to Grace Ella. Sweetenham started it all. There's a few names just starting to repeatedly stand up for Tweed Coast. At the moment, it's the smaller players. And to take on what is a very aerobic Byron Bay side, it may be those smaller, quicker players who make the difference. Inside, lowered the eyes. About 6 players fell for that delivery. Robertson thumps it. There is no one in front of that ball. The foot race is on. We can see the speed. Put down the glasses because Sarah Whitburn just burned everyone on the way back to that ball. And a bit of head-high contact has been deemed not sufficient. Trying to clean it up. They could be in trouble here, Tweed Coast. It only takes 1 or 2 loose possessions. And Byron Bay, through very strange means, have been able to get it from 50 to 50.
So a free kick for too high out of that contest. It'll go to Tweed. I'd take a stab and say that's Whitnam because she's been everywhere in this term here for the Tigers. So up and under kick. It fell a little bit short and fell in the arm here of Holly Harrison. I was surprised Cooper didn't end up going for the fly, but I'd even be more surprised if she didn't push forward to where this ball's going to land. Ball push out towards the forward pocket. In front of the scoreboard now. 5.5 minutes gone here in this final term. It's Byron Bay by 23 points.
So Hines is into the pocket. Allen is at centre half forward just behind the play, looking to push forward. Nikki Clough is at full forward. But for all their dominance, Vaesi has been an excellent presence for Tweed Coast in the ruck. Loses out on that occasion, but again, the pace of the Tweed Coast defence running back has been impressive. That's Whitburn underneath. Speaking of impressive pace, she gave us an absolute exhibition of it a few moments ago. Will be a ball up, just in front of the scoreboard, still in the pocket.
So chance here for Byron Bay to really finish strongly. They've been held goalless in this half, which has been a rarity for they've been held goalless in a half for season 2022. Hacked deep inside the forward line, and the Tweed Coast now with the mark. They'll bring it out towards the commentary side, which has very much been the attacking win for most of the game today. As Jess Brown, she was dispossessed, her teammate was dispossessed in the same process, and a free kick's been blown, and it will go to the Tigers at half-back.
Even though advantage was interrupted, I don't mind the umpire doing that because Brown was away, but she was away to not really any support. Kicked in the direction of Pritchard, long way from home. Has Allen on her back, but was able to get space. But the pressure from Allen was good enough to turn over the ball. Berry playing high. As I said before, she and Robertson have been outstanding in turning over the ball from half-back. She goes towards the pocket. The wind caught that. Second effort. In there, Hines. The layup was from Harrison. The mark in the goal square is from Hines, as was the goal. The second half dam is broken, and Byron Bay take a step closer to that Division 2 South Premiership.
Do you think we might start to see the floodgates open now, or will Tweed continue to assert just that momentum, that tenacity they've shown all day?
It's in the head now. We're about to see the metal of the Tweed Coast side. If they've got some experienced players out there, and it's even better when the experienced players don't have to G up the younger players, when they just have enough pride in their performance to go, I don't care whether it's 33-4 or whether it's 102-9 or whether it's 20-all. I'm going to go hard because this is a grand final.
Well, let's be honest too, defensively and in terms of aggression, and you rightfully said they've had to try and Byron Bay have had most of the play, but Tweed's pressure on the ball carrier has been the better of the two across the entire game today. Speaking of example A there, and we'll see a stoppage. So we're really seeing that intensity. I think I've just answered my own question there, just simply by what we saw there. Another stoppage from another great tackle as the ball bobbles out the back now to Kira Russell. Ball bounces away from her. Jess Brown lays another big tackle. Ball knocked out. Umpire called play on. Ball between wing and half forward. Here come the Tigers again. Holding the ball. Free kick. And it'll go to the Pies.
Well defended by Byron Bay, but again, trying to just dart away from the pack. You can see how this Tweed Coast side would play against a weaker opponent. I like their game style. It's come out the back, fallen to Hutchings. Hutchings trying to stay in front of it. The soccer has gone out of bounds.
We hit 9 minutes gone here in this final term. And still, we look at who could potentially be best player on the ground. It's really started to balance out a little bit in this second half.
Agreed.
But that's been a testament to the hard work that Tweed Coast have executed for this, for the most part, of the last 30 minutes of play. But still, the next 8 minutes could tell an interesting story at that. As well, tried to clear the ball out towards half-back, overrunning it there on the outer side. It was Byron Bay, but the ball will get pumped back inside the forward 50. Ball lands about 30 metres out from goal. Here come the Tigers with a right foot kick. Got a player on the option here, but they're -1 out of this contest here, Tweed Coast. If they can win this one, it'll be handy. But here was the +1. Big bomb inside the forward 50 there from Berry, and Tweed, mark, almost unopposed, defensive 25.
You've got to love a big Berry bomb as she gets it about 25 from goal. Gave it away, but they are dominating enough possession. That can be kicked away to Cody May. Getting there first was Pritchard, usually a goal scorer, fairway from home. Ella thrown off the ball. Harrison trying to kick it inside. Good second effort, excellent tackle. That's not just Brown again, is it?
It wouldn't be surprised if it was.
It wouldn't be often that you would even consider someone in a side losing 33 for 4 for best on ground. But if that's just Brown, she would have to be in the discussion, even if you don't end up giving it to her. It's a good play down the right, I believe, from Hawkey. Inside, nearly taken over the back of the shoulder from Zena Campbell. Inside to Shania Pittman. The work on the ground, good tackle on Bustle. That's tremendous work on the ground from Holly Alexander. Not rewarded, but certainly gained the appreciation of her teammates.
It shows the endeavour here of this Tweed Coast. For those watching at home, regardless of the result, you should be proud of this performance here today as the ball dribbles out towards the boundary line. And it did go out, but it's tough for a team that will ultimately go down. But their effort today is just, you have to be proud of what this team has executed.
You're hard to please if you're not. Boundaries thrown on this western side. Good work from Vaisi up against Campbell. Played inside Brown again. Didn't quite connect with the outside of the boot. She can work on that. Pressure, heavy legs. Coming across is Cookson. She's worked well. Knocked it forward, then ran into a brick wall in the form of another human being. Byron Bay still able to work it forward. Looking up towards Hines. Didn't quite get the bounce she wanted, but her physical presence was intense. It was matched on that occasion. Looking for, I believe, Harrison at centre half forward. That's paid. Harrison's industry means she'll get a free kick.
As we head into probably the final 4 or 5 minutes, Dan, I'll give you some time to think about who you might consider as a contender as we put in our 2 cents worth to all those that are making the decision. There's Holly Harrison now. She'll pull the trigger from about 40 metres out from goal. It'll land towards the top of the square. There was no hand on that. Yes, there was. And that's a minus score, so Harrison, 1 goal, 1 on the board.
Did she get burned by Hines there? Was it
She
Hines?
did.
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Let's
take a premiership medal for that.
It's at the very least a fine. But no, I think the key for deciding best on ground, if you decide who made the moves when the game was still open in the second quarter, then you've got to look at someone like, say, Cooper. If you're looking at the defensive effort since then I'm probably looking at someone like Robertson. I'm more looking towards Cooper because I think when the game was there to be won, she was the one who helped break it open. But Byron, about 30 metres from goal, the tackle on the ground is made by Bustle. And I'm sure she's heard all the puns, so I won't describe her play. But Tweed Coast defending well, but they need to do more than defend well.
So can Tweed, I think the grand final will be fitting if they can close out this match with a goal, as Cooper is ultimately wrapped up there.
100%.
But the game deserves that. Their season deserves that. They've played so well today. And another wonderful tackle, which has just been par of the course here for the Tiger fraternity. Unfortunately for them, it's just been the impact on the scoreboard that has been lacking.
3 years ago, these two teams met in the old QFAW Northern Rivers Grand Final, and that day Byron won by 3. You have to think there's a positive future for this Tweed Coast side.
There's a lot to love about what Tweed Coast have produced this year, and no doubt this confidence that they'll eventually go back and look at the tape. They'll feel good about this one as Pittman marks. Long way out from goal, but she'll put it up towards the top of the square. She's got a few high flyers. Harrison marks. Umpire calls touch play on, so Harrison has to kick the ball around the body. And that's out of bounds on the full free kick. We'll go to the Tigers.
Hines did her best to save a teammate there. Obviously, the guilt is racking her from earlier. But no, she's had an outstanding season, Cassandra Hines. And just in case anyone hasn't worked out my sense of humour, of course she didn't deliberately burn Harrison's attempt at goal before. But Tweed Coast is going to be able to play.
I think she did. She wanted another one.
Chris's sense of humour is completely different from mine. He means it seriously. Okay, playing out. Tweed Coast looking to maintain. The dam wall is held all but once. That's a beautiful run through. Retreating to advance. And then the marking. The skill level today has been high. Every now and then someone says, oh, that's only Division 2 QFAW level. I'm sorry, watch this game. There's plenty to enjoy about the skills on show. That is just 101. Marking. Kick after the siren. Although, hang on, the clock hasn't reached 15 minutes, so we'll just get confirmation of that.
Or are we talking 14 and a half?
There will be a kick. I mean, the result's not in doubt. But the honour of getting a grand final goal is important. It's gone through. The celebration start will just confirm whether the grand final siren was real. It is real. Byron Bay, after no grand final last year and having to share the premiership, have won the 2022 Division 2 South Grand Final.
Yeah, fantastic performance. Let's enjoy this song. Well, Dan, we have seen an exceptional end to a wonderful season, and we could see in front of us at the moment the Magpies looking after their fallen comrade to carry her off the ground and maybe to go and support her, the young Byron Bay star who
Georgia Robbins, yeah. Looks like she's in good enough nick that she'll be able to get up the stage and collect her medal. And to be honest, I back Jack Barry's fitness to be able to go downstairs if she can't make it up. But look, Byron Bay, when you have a season that dominant, where not only are you undefeated, but your percentage is in the 1600s. Now, okay, you can talk about, the competition, where should they be and all the rest of it. In the southern part, you've really just got to play against who's around you. Mm-hmm. You've got to get who's there. They're not a club that goes on a massive recruiting drive and buys players from nearby towns. They've created a club at Byron Bay that people want to join, that people want to play for, and it has produced a women's side of this quality.
Absolutely. I think you compare it. I mean, you for those watching back home, Daniel he's been a key part of the QFAW season for the last couple of years, and the talent that have come through the system. A lot of what we've seen here today, particularly from this Byron Bay outfit, a lot of players play to a high standard that would be worthy of that sort of level, and that's no understatement. And Dan, you live and breathe the growth of this competition, and to see the clubs expand and draw new talent. It's lots of love of what we've seen here this afternoon. Some wonderful stand. It's really just a case of whether any of these players feel like making the move up to Southeast Queensland to play for a Gold Coast side or a Brisbane side if they want to test themselves at the higher level. We've been praising Jess Brown a lot today, and you could certainly see a future if that's what she wanted to do, to move up from Pottsville and try her hand up here. She's got the talent. In the Byron side, we've been talking Stephanie Cooper up all day. She's probably a bit older, but there's no age limit to where you're playing, and she's certainly got the ability. I did like the work of Zara Cookson on the outside as well. When she got the ball, she showed she had a lot of industry. If I had to name best on ground, I would probably go for Stephanie Cooper for the reasons I outlined before. But I think the reason that Tweed Coast remained goalless was Berry and Robertson at halfback. Absolutely, and that shows the array of talent this team has got. So we'll, in a few short moments, we will cross down to Jack Barry, the Masters of Ceremonies for AFL Queensland, and we'll have the pleasure of being joined by him on the boundary on the senior men's grand final in a couple of weeks' time over at Cooperoo. So still lots of footy left, and fitting enough from personal perspective, Dan, is that the two games that I've seen this weekend on Saturday and Sunday have resulted in a kick after siren. So haven't had that happen ever in a weekend of calling footy, but it's just been great to see. And it's been a wonderful day. 4 grand finals, 4 premiers determined, and 2 of them won by Tigers. Absolutely. And the beauty about today is 8 different teams competing on the big stage. It's great. It's been a wonderful crowd coming in and out of here. We're just waiting to throw to Jack Barry.
but we certainly hope you've enjoyed. We will rejoin you after the ceremony, but thank you for your company today. Congratulations to everyone at the Byron Bay Magpies Football Club. Tweed Coast, you've got a lot to be proud of. Please keep developing this side. I'd love to see them again in 12 months.
Just waiting a few moments' time for Jack, and
he's just finishing his crossword at the moment, I think. So.
My name is Jack Barry. I'm the president hosting the presentation ceremony of today's QFAW Division 2 South presentation. I'd like to introduce our official party, and I've got the great pleasure of introducing Barry Gibson, our community football manager, to say a few words on behalf of the ASL.
Thank you, Jack. First of all, just absolutely so happy for both these two teams to get the opportunity to play on the big stage. You've been for a really tough time over the last 2 years, and COVID's really impacted your competition. And to Byron, who were leading away last year, never got that opportunity. Congratulations on taking the most of that today. This is to Tweed, but outstanding effort, been a powerhouse all year, done a great job, but we really appreciated you making the long trip up to be part of what's been an outstanding day to showcase female footy. We hope you've enjoyed the experience, and it's one of many more to come in the future years. To Yoronga, who've hosted today, thank you. They've done a great job over the last 2 days. To all of our staff who've done a power of work, and to Grace, our competition manager, thanks very much. I'd also like to thank our umpires. They do a fantastic job across the year, and thank you very much. And obviously it's a long way to come, so for those that made the trip up today to support the two teams, thanks very much, we really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our match umpires for their efforts today, and congratulate them on the grand final appointments. To receive their grand final medallions, I'd like them to come up on stage, starting with our field umpires, Bruce Cruikshank and Noah Persil-Payne. Boundary umpires Lucas Doherty and Flynn Uphill. And our goal umpires Ryan and Jim Kelly. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Brendan Windows and Laws for the outstanding sponsorship and support of umpires through 2022. For our grand final umpires, thank you for today. I'd like now to get Barry to present the best on-ground medal as determined on the voting system of 3, 2 and 1. I'm delighted to announce that the player judged best of field in today's grand final, number 4, Byron Bay, Cassandra Byron.
Congratulations to Byron Bay. You're a classy side, girls. I think that's the closest we've got to you all season, so we're really happy with that. Thanks to the umpires, AFL for your organisation, hard work today. And to my girls. We're unlucky, but we fought hard as we do in Tiger Spirit, and looking at the scoreboard, girls, we've improved heaps. Alright, so you got to be happy with that. Alright, so let's party hard on the boats.
Corey Hull to come forward as the Premiership coach to say a few words on behalf of Byron Bay. As I get you to present the ball and the Premiership medal.
on the day, but also putting on the season, and to Grace, who I've just met for the first time, I've spoken to all year and helped me out. Thank you very much. To Katie and the Tweed girls, thanks very much for the season. It's nice to see the three teams from down south, Tweed, Byron and Byron, fighting out the finals again. The competition down there is really strong, so awesome stuff. And back up what Katie said, you've certainly improved as the year's gone on. And unfortunate today that our girls decided to have a day out. So, to the Byron girls, awesome effort. To the umpires, Kate, Blaine and Zach, thanks very much for your help. Fantastic results, you really deserve it. Cheers.
Also, I want to acknowledge our commentators who've done a fantastic job over the course of the day, and make sure you jump on the Clutch TV to watch them come along. They've been absolutely fantastic, so make sure you jump on and watch the game later on this afternoon or this evening. Okay, it's now time to present the players with their premiership and their medallions, and I'll get Basil to be so kind. Starting off with number 1, Cody May. Number 3, Savannah Kennedy. Number 7, Stephanie Cooper. Number 8, Georgie Robbins. Number 10, Zoe White. Number 13, Zena Campbell. Number 14, Kia Bussell. Sponsor. Number 15, Jordan Dye. Number 17, Stephanie Buckle. Number 19, Zara Cookson. Number 22, Holly Harrison. Number 24, Grace Robinson. Number 25, Georgina Morris. Number 26, Dana Bari. Number 27, Caitlin Parks. Number 30, Talara Berry. Number 32, Lulu Miskin. Number 37, Lillian Hutchings. your captain, Cassandra Hall. If you can present the Premiership Cup. And we've got the players to come on board. The 2022 QFAW.
Congratulations to the Byron Bay Magpies. They've had to wait a while to be rewarded for their dominance at the Division 2 South competition. They've got the trophy today. As the Hunters go off in the background for the Magpies. Christine, thank you for your company today. Your enduring memory of today. You've watched 3 grand finals, called 2 of them. Is there a big memory you'll take away from the day?
I think the big memory today is me having to walk so far away from the car to be able to get here to the ground, to just because there was so many cars just ganged up, piled up for miles. So for me, that was a great sign that that football here in AFL Queensland, particularly in the women's division, is as good as it is now as it ever has been.
And we will keep singing the song because we love both the men's and women's competition, but today's about the women. We love the women's competitions in this part of the world. Let's just have a look at the winners for today. Division 1 Reserves won by Morningside Panthers. Division 2 North won by the Noosa Tigers. Division 1 won by the Surfers Paradise Demonettes. Division 2 South won by the Byron Bay Magpies. That's 1 winner each from Brisbane, the Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast and Northern New South Wales. That is the complete picture of community football in Southeast Queensland. Thank you for your company all day. The 2022 QFAW Grand Final Day. You all come back for 2023 now. You're here. Thanks very much.